Good afternoon, everybody. Well, all of this waiting, this anticipating is over. It will come to an end. When this race is completed, we will know what drivers are going to be in the chase for the Season 2 Oreo Truck Series Championship. This is New Hampshire Speedway, where these drivers are going to try and race their way in to the chase for Season 2 to try and become Season 2 Oreo Truck Series champion. 4 drivers come into this race knowing that no matter where they finish, they are ensured spots in the chase. They are points leader Jake Rogers, Adam Chambers, our defending champion Robert Ban, and rookie Matt Nathan. We've got 2 rookies that have already secured themselves spots in the chase. These are the drivers that are in question, okay? We're going to go through this right here, right at the moment, before we go through the starting lineup of drivers that are eligible to possibly fall out of the top 10 in standings, and drivers that are eligible to move into the top 10 in standings with this race here today. The points leader, or not the points leader, the pole sitter for today's race right there, Timmy Pacioli. He is in danger of possibly falling out. He is 5th in the standings, 369 points. He is, I believe, a total of 12 points, nope, make that 22 points away from 11th place Matthew Rodriguez, so he does have a chance to possibly fall out if he has a bad finish here today, so he needs a good run. Then you got 6th place and 7th place Jordan Hester and Michael Harvey, 363 points apiece. That is a total of 16 points away from 11th. James Bald comes in 353 points, 53 points in 8th. John Dillon 353 points in 9th. Both of them are only 6 points out of falling into 11th place, and Philip Stiller, who comes in 10th in the standings, he's only got a 1-point advantage over 11th in the standings, Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez 1 point back from Philip Stiller, that 10th place driver. He is 11th in the standings. Kenny McCurry comes in 12th in the standings, only 7 points back. He is eligible to maybe get in. Nick Eggleston comes in only 8 points back, and he's 13th in the standings. He could get in. Only 15 points back is where we find Alex Lozano, 14th in the standings. He could get in, and the last car that could possibly mathematically get in to the chase into that 10th position is Harold Columbia, 15th in the standings, and he is a total of 27 points away. It's going to be a long shot for him if he makes it, but right there, you got Timmy Pacioli, Jordan Hester, Michael Harvey, James Bald, John Dillon, and Philip Stiller, who could easily fall out of the top 10. Matthew Rodriguez, Kenny McCurry, Nick Eggleston, Alex Lozano, who could easily move into the top 10. Then, of course, Harold Columbia mathematically still can, but probably he would have to come away with a win in order to do that here today. All right, now time for the starting lineup to show you who's going to start in where. These drivers that I mentioned, we're going to be following all day long to see where they're running, to see if they have an opportunity to make the chase for the Oreo Championship. Timmy Pacioli, as I mentioned, he's on the pole. And also, if Timmy Pacioli fell out of the top 10 standings, he does have a little bit of insurance, too, due to the fact that he has 2 wins in the Oreo Truck Series that may get him into spots 11 or 12. So, not a lot of pressure for Pacioli. The other drivers that I mentioned that are 6th through 10th, they do have some pressure on themselves. Stephen Dillon, going to be starting on the outside of the front row. He is a go-or-go-homer. Matthew Rodriguez, he's one of those drivers we're following. He is in that 11th position in the standings, only 1 point back from getting into the top 10, and Robert Cruz will line up alongside of him. Connor Breton in the 67, making a start there in the 67 car. Nice to see Connor Breton here in this race number 15. And then we got John Worry in the 62. That is going to be our points leader, Jake Rogers, who now knows that he is in the chase for the championship. And then you got James McLeod to the outside. Sean Galligan going to line up alongside of Jacob Rodriguez. There's another driver who will be in the Oreo Truck Series chase for the championship. That is Matt Nathan. And he'll start off alongside of Philip Stiller, who comes in that critical 10th place position in the standings. Nick Eggleston, he is in 13th in the standings, only 8 points out of 10th place. And Ray Wilson will line up alongside of him. There's Harold Columbia, the guy who's got the long shot. 27 points he's got to get here today, up on Philip Stiller and the cars ahead of him from 11th on down through 14th in order to get into the chase, and he'll start off alongside of Jake Cole. Kristen Worry going to line up alongside of Kenny McCurry, who is in 12th in the standings, only 7 points out of that 10th position. Adam Chambers, on the other hand, he can just race all he wants because he is clinched into the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship. Daniel Schwab going to line up alongside of him. John Dillon, he's 9th in the standings. As a matter of fact, 11th place Matthew Rodriguez is only 6 points away from 9th place John Dillon. So John Dillon is on thin ice here, and he'll start off alongside of Jesse Kaplan. Jordan Hester, he is also a driver who could fall out. He is a total of, I believe I mentioned that he was 16 points ahead of 11th place Matthew Rodriguez, and he is 6th in the standings. He'll start off alongside of Angel D'Souza. Anthony McCurry will line up beside of Noel Stiller. Corey Williams will line up beside of Arnold Columbia. And then it's Tom Weekly and Dougie Shears. Alex Lozano, 14th in the standings, only a total of 15 points away from 10th place Philip Stiller. He still is in it. Devin Wilson, going to line up alongside of him. Michael Harvey, he is 7th in the standings, a total of a total of 16, a total of 16 points ahead of 11th place Matthew Rodriguez. He'll start off alongside of Christian James. James Bald, he is 8th in the standings, only a mere 6 points ahead of Matthew Rodriguez, and he'll start alongside Adrian Brace. Here's another driver who has clinched himself a spot into the chase, defending champion Robert Bain. He'll start off alongside Jake Berg. Then it's Brandon Gonzalez beside Jacob Lawler, and Lisa Shears alongside of Ziggy Bain. So this is going to be 45 laps of racing here at this racetrack. This racetrack not really known for its passing ability, and so these drivers that are back in 11th through 15th, they're going to need to earn every position they pick up. Well, last week it was Dylan Young in his second career start, picking up his first career Oreo Truck Series victory. He is not in this field here today due to the fact that he was outside the top 35 in points. But maybe Connor Breton back there in 5th could do something. This, I believe, is his first start. Or maybe it's his second start. I can't remember which. I think it is only his first start in the Truck Series. So he's making his debut here today. Green flag is out. Who will make the chase? I have no idea. And you know, at the end of the race, you know how I always show the finishing order in the standings by themselves? Well, I'm going to be showing the finishing order by itself, but then I'm going to be giving a kind of a post-race thing to show who has made the chase and all that. Oh, as Stephen Dillon gets turned in front of the field back there! Oh, Matt Nathan slides. And everybody's piling in, but I don't know if anybody's got any major damage. Let's see. Saw John Dillon there. I'm not seeing anybody with... Oh, no! Michael Harvey! He's one of those drivers. He came in 7th in the standings. Only a mere 16 points out of being eliminated. Kristen Worry is involved. Oh, Adam Chambers! He's involved, but he is in the chase, so obviously not good for Chambers, but he is involved. Oh, and Matt Nathan, too. 2 drivers that have clinched themselves spots in the chase are involved. Jacob Lawler's got damaged. Jacob Rodriguez is damaged. Looking further up here, seeing if anybody else. What about Robert Bain? Yes, he has damage, and he's clinched into this chase. Anthony McCurry is on pit road as well. And who was that there? Oh, Dougie Shears. There was somebody smoking ahead of him. Oh, Stephen Dillon. But there was some... Oh, Sean Galligan, Jesse Kaplan, they're involved. Robert Bain's going to continue. Adrian Brace is on pit road. Alex Lozano, 14th in the standings. He's involved. John Dillon is involved. 9th in the standings. Jacob Rodriguez, Matt Nathan, and James McLeod along with Brandon Gonzalez. That's a lot of race cars involved here on the first lap. 3 of which are drivers who have clinched themselves spots in the chase. Chambers, Ban, and Nathan. And we've got also drivers that are inside the top 10 as of right now that were involved. Michael Harvey and John Dillon. And you got drivers that are trying to get into the top 10 that were involved. Alex Lozano being one of them. Let's see why we're under the caution. Well, actually, there were 2 wrecks that occurred. We're going to show them to you here. Stephen Dillon, he was outside there. Robert Cruz, I think, is trying to go 3 wide, and Stephen's just kind of throwing the block on him here through this turn. See Cruz, he's just trying to get that car turned down as far left as he can to get underneath of Stephen Dillon. Jake Rogers gets into Connor Breton back there as well, turns him around. So we can go to a better camera angle here. There we go. There you see Connor Breton getting turned by Jake Rogers. Oh, this is a good camera angle right here. And Stephen Dillon just gets turned up in front of everybody. Jake Rogers does a great job getting through there, does our points leader. Connor Breton spinning out back there. Sean Galligan's trapped back there. Here comes Dougie Shears into the picture. And, oh, he makes pretty bad contact with Jake Cole. There's Jordan Hester. Oh, Anthony McCurry hit Matt Nathan right there. Heavy contact there. Oh, Tom Weekly hits Matt Nathan, and Nathan goes flipping. So does Weekly. Brandon Gonzalez, Angel D'Souza, Noel Stiller involved there. There's Robert Band there. Look at Tom Weekly barrel rolling for the second straight week. I think it was last week he was barrel rolling as well. Oh my goodness. Weekly just cannot catch a break in that car. Look at Jake Berg sliding his way through here. Ooh, he did a good job missing Tom Weekly right there. But now let's take a look quickly and see what happened to Michael Harvey. Well, Michael Harvey was caught up in that incident, has some front end damage already, but look at this. Just runs right into the back of Tom Weekly, who was just trying to gather himself, I guess, after that barrel roll. And boy, that's a tough break for him right there. Now let's see what happened to Stephen Dillon further up. He was involved in something else. Well, here's something that happened to John Dillon over in turn 3. He comes up and he just makes a little contact there with Christian Worry. It sends him into a spin and nowhere for Sean Galligan to go. Track's just blocked up, and Jacob Rodriguez, he's got nowhere to go. He makes contact there. There are a lot of damaged trucks here during this thing. And I think Jesse Kaplan further back here gets turned by somebody. Yeah, gets turned with Adam Chambers. And then there was something that happened further up in turn 4. Here it is. Sean Galligan was damaged after that contact with John Dillon, and he's trying to come down pit road. Look at him. He's turning hard left, wants to go down pit road. James McLeod's already there. And I don't think Galligan knew McLeod was underneath him. And Philip Stiller gets a piece of that right there. Philip Stiller in that critical 10th place. That's certainly not good right there. And Dougie Shears is there. Oh! He just nails Dougie Shears. And then Dougie hits McLeod, and McLeod flips upside down. Wow. It's going to be interesting to see what chase contenders we've got that are involved in this that are going to be retiring. I know that Adam Chambers has already retired from this race. And I don't know who else has. Let's take a look. Right then, we're about to go back to green on lap 6 of 45. Drivers out include Adam Chambers, although he has already clinched himself a spot in the championship chase. Then you've got Sean Galligan, Stephen Dillon, James McLeod, Kristen Worry, Dougie Shears, Matt Nathan, who has clinched himself a spot in the chase already, Anthony McCurry, Tom Weekly, and Michael Harvey, who came in 7th in the standings. That may take him out of chase contention right there. Timmy Pacioli is the leader. Matthew Rodriguez is 2nd. Rodriguez, remember, he's 11th in the standings. He could race his way into the chase right here. Robert Cruz is 3rd. Jake Rogers, our points leader, is 4th. Nick Eggleston, 5th. Jordan Hester, 6th. Corey Williams, 7th. Lisa Shears is 8th. Ziggy Bay, 9th. And Harold Columbia runs in 10th. 11th is Arnold Columbia. Then we got Angel D'Souza. She's in 12th. Jake Berg, 13th. John Worry, 14th. Daniel Schwab, 15th. The rest of the top 20 is Kenny McCurry, Devin Wilson, James Bald, Connor Breton, and Noel Stiller. You saw James McLeod going by there down low. He apparently is 1 lap down. Yes, he is. So the green flag is back out. They got that slower car of James McLeod there. That could play havoc with these drivers for sure. As Matthew Rodriguez is all over Timmy Pacioli. That's for the lead. Pacioli, 5th in the standings. He could mathematically fall out of the top 10. But leading this race, that's a good insurance that he would be in the top 10 by the time this race ended. As he takes the top spot, and he has a good length of a lead over Matthew Rodriguez. While he is so far ahead, let's take a look and see where some of the drivers that are trying to race their way into the championship chase are running. Matthew Rodriguez, 11th in the points. He is running there in 2nd. How about Kenny McCurry, who comes in 12th in the standings? He's running now up into the 14th position. I think he just picked up a few more spots right there. Nick Eggleston in the 14th. Oh, James McLeod gets turned back there. And Noel Stiller is involved. Ray Wilson. James Bald. James Bald. Philip Stiller. Robert Bann. Alex Lozano. John Dillon. I just named off James Bald and John Dillon, who both, and Philip Stiller, who are all 8th, 9th, 10th in the standings involved in this. There's Bald, Robert Bann, there's John Dillon, Connor Breton, James McLeod, Lozano, he's one of those drivers who was trying to race his way in, and Philip Stiller was involved as well. Let's take a look and see what happened. Well, not really any secret what happened here. Angel D'Souza gets into the lap car. James McLeod turns him down into Noel Stiller. And then here's the big problem. These cars, they're sliding, and they're just going to come up the racetrack and block the racing line. Ray Wilson gets a big piece of it there. Look at James Bald. Bald, 8th in the standings. Nails pretty hard there. Brandon Gonzalez, he's going to get a piece of it right there. Arnold Columbia, he's involved there. Philip Stiller involved there. Robert Bann involved there. Adrian Brace involved there. Alex Lozano comes in, nails James McLeod. Jesse Kaplan's involved there. And then you're going to see John Dillon. 9th in the standings going to come into this picture. There you see Jacob Rodriguez involved. John Dillon going to make some contact right there with Lozano. Christian Janes gets a little piece of it as well. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th in the standings involved in this. And also Alex Lozano, 14th in the standings involved in this as well. And I think he has retired from this race. So let's see what's happened to Dillon, Bald, and Stiller who come in 8th through 10th in the standings. Very critical right now. So we'll go back to green flag racing on lap 12 of 45. Bald, Dillon, and Stiller all involved in that, and this is what we have. James Bald has retired from the race, which means it's very likely that he will not make this year's chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship. Both he and Harvey are both in pretty hot water right now as they have both retired and came in only 7th and 8th in the standings. Arnold Columbia has retired from this race as well, along with Alex Lozano, who will not make the chase. He was outside the top 10, but now will not be able to race his way into it. James McLeod also retiring, and I believe Jacob Rodriguez in the 51 is retired from the race as well. He is indeed. Jacob Rodriguez has retired from today's race. So here's the way they'll line up. Timmy Pacioli, Matthew Rodriguez, Robert Cruz, Jake Rogers, Corey Williams, Lisa Shears, Ziggy Bain, Nick Eggleston, Harold Columbia, and Jake Berg. That's the top 10. Let's go through the top 20 real quick. John Worry, Jordan Hester, Daniel Schwab, Kenny Recurry, Devin Wilson, Angel D'Souza, Jake Cole, Brandon Gonzalez, Philip Stiller in that 10th position. He's still there. And Robert Bann completes your top 20. So Philip Stiller still very much in this and trying to stay just one step ahead here. He's 10th in the standings, but the fact that Harvey and Bald have retired, he may have a chance to have that be his saving grace, really, and be able to keep himself in the top 10 in the standings. You never know. Philip Stiller actually was in the chase for the championship last year. And Timmy Pacioli going to take the top spot and pull away. So let's see where John Dillon and Philip Stiller restart. We showed you where Philip Stiller was restarting, but we'll show you again. He is 19th. And where is John Dillon? 26th last time by. Let's take a look at some of the other drivers that are up there trying to race their way into the top 10. Matthew Rodriguez is one as he has slid back to 3rd now, but still has a chance to make the chase here, as he still continues to run in the top 5. There's Nick Eggleston, not too far behind him. He's in the 7th position, and he comes in 13th in the standings. And then we got Kenny McCurry in the 04, who runs right now in 13th place. Those three drivers, they could benefit here today with the fact that Michael Harvey and James Bald have retired and are now out of chase contention. The yellow flag out? It is indeed. Yellow flag is waving, but we're not certain who for. I don't even see anybody off the pace here. Almost looks like some damage, some front-end damage to John Dillon, but I don't know. We're going to have to go to our replay cameras and see what exactly happened, because all these drivers appear to be up to speed, as we are under the caution once again. Yeah, this happened right at the back of the pack here. Ray Wilson slides up the racetrack, makes some contact with Noel Stiller, both of whom had lost their hoods. Look at this. This is a three-wide battle between drivers who have no hoods. And right here off this turn, I think Noel Stiller's going to get a piece of the wall. Right there, yep. And Ray Wilson kind of squeezes him up there. Jake Berg, or that's not Jake Berg, that's Jesse Kaplan getting turned off the nose of Robert Bann as well, pounds the inside wall, and John Dillon's able to get by that, but that's why we're under the caution, just a spin pretty much here on the front straightaway. Right, so out of this race are no drivers. However, we were talking about John Dillon coming in ninth in the standings. This is very bad for him. 28th on the racetrack. Last car on the racetrack on the lead lap. This is not good for his hopes to maybe get into the chase. He would have to really pick it up here in these next few laps. Timmy Pacioli leads. Robert Cruz is in second. Third is Matthew Rodriguez. Fourth is our points leader, Jake Rogers. He just continues to be consistent. Corey Williams is fifth. Lisa Shears is sixth. Nick Eggleston is seventh. Eighth is Harold Columbia. Ninth is John Worry. And 10th is Ziggy Bain. 11th is Jordan Hester. Hester is sixth in the standings. He's been doing a great job making sure he's going to stay in chase contention. Jake Berg is 12th. Kenny McCurry is up in 13th. He's trying to race his way in. He is 12th in the standings. Daniel Schwab 14th. Angel D'Souza 15th. J. Cole 16th. Devin Wilson, Brandon Gonzalez, Connor Breton, and Philip Stiller complete your top 20. Philip Stiller right there in 20th position. At this moment, he would fall out of the top 10 in standings because drivers such as Matthew Rodriguez, Kenny McCurry, and Nick Eggleston are so far ahead of him. And they were only about 1 to 8 points back as we have a battle on for the lead. This is the first time that Pacioli's lead has even been challenged all day long. And it's rookie Robert Cruz. Robert Cruz is a go or go homer. Hi. Sorry about that jump there, folks. I ended up having a problem with my computer, but it is back to normal, so we are still on lap 20, and Robert Cruz has taken over the lead. Now, Matthew Rodriguez, 11th in the standings, he is running there in the third position. So far, so good for Matthew to get into the chase, but there's still a ways to go. There could be trouble that could break out very easily. Timmy Pacioli there, on the other hand, he is running in third. He's fifth in the standings. Right now, I think as of this moment, with the fact that both Michael Harvey and James Bald have finished out of this race, I think that has now clinched himself a spot there into the chase, and I think the same can be said for this driver here in the 28 of Jordan Hester. I think both of them now have clinched themselves into the chase due to the drivers beneath them finishing so badly. We talked about Matthew Rodriguez, 11th in the standings. There's Kenny McCurry, who comes in 12th in the standings, only 7 points back from Philip Stiller. Right now, let's see where Philip Stiller is running. He would have to be running better than 20th in order to still be in contention, and he is running in 21st, which means it is only 1 point separation that Kenny McCurry would be in the chase and Philip Stiller would be out of the chase. So Philip has to pass Jacob Lawler right there in order to get back into contention to be a chase contender. Corey Williams, moving aside from the points here, we could talk about Corey, and he's doing a great job right now in that number 15. En route to another great finish. He's been on a bit of a roll as of late and shown it here with some muscle here at New Hampshire. Right behind him is one of those drivers that was hoping to get into the chase via wins, but only one win so far this season for rookie Harold Columbia, and he has that long shot to try and get into the chase. And right now, Matthew Rodriguez is ahead of him. Kenny McCurry is a little ways behind. I don't think Harold Columbia is going to be able to get into the chase this season, but obviously a good showing today for the 27. There's our points leader, Jake Rogers. And the thing about Jake Rogers here is he is the only driver out there on the racetrack right now that has already clinched himself a spot into the chase coming into this race. Robert Bain, Adam Chambers, Matt Nathan all have retired from the race, and they were 3 of the 4, along with Jake Rogers, who had clinched themselves a position in the chase for this Season 2 of the Oreo Truck Series. Now, the thing of it is here, though, Jake Rogers, yes, he's running very well, but even though he's going to be leaving as the points leader, it not necessarily doesn't mean that he's going to be the points leader when the chase starts, because he has no wins this season in the 91, and so he's going to probably fall down through the standings and maybe be like 11th or 12th when the chase points are shown. There's Kenny McCurry. He's now worked his way up there. Nick Eggleston right behind him. Kenny McCurry is 12th in the standings. Nick Eggleston is 13th in the standings, and the two of them trying to continue on their runs here in 8th and 9th position as the laps are starting to wind down. A total of 20 to go here. When they will hit the stripe, it'll be 19. Looking here at Jordan Hester, who I believe along with Timmy Pacioli, we're waiting for official word, but I believe they have clinched themselves spots into the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship, as they were 5th and 6th coming into this race and are currently running in the top 10. take a look and see where John Dillon in the 24 is running. He's all the way back here in 28th position. This is very dangerous for Dillon as well, because Kenny McCurry, Nick Eggleston, Matthew Rodriguez, 11th through 13th, they are running very well, but John Dillon, 9th in the standings, Philip Stiller, 10th in the standings, are not, so it could be possible that Dillon and Stiller could fall out, and Rodriguez, McCurry, or Eggleston, they could all move in to the, oh, I thought I saw the pace car coming out there. But it's possible those guys could fall out of the chase and the other ones move into the chase. As the battle is pretty much for second position, Robert Cruz out in front, the rookie. Matthew Rodriguez, Timmy Pacioli, Corey Williams battling it out for second position. There's a good battle back there for fifth. Let's look at that. John Worry, he makes his way underneath Harold Columbia. Jake Rogers now going to try and do the same. It's pretty much single file around this racetrack. We're not having much of a battle for positions here. Oh, there's a pretty good one. It's a battle for 13th. Angel D'Souza being challenged by Jake Berg. D'Souza's got some rear end damage there. I think she was caught up in one of those earlier incidents. And D'Souza was actually a championship contender in the Oreo Truck Series Championship last season. Will not be so this season. Now Daniel Schwab trying to move underneath Angel D'Souza. That would be for 14th. There's Connor Breton in his first Truck Series start. Running very well. He's 18th, but Devin Wilson's trying to take that spot away from him right here in the 18. And I think I see, is that Brandon Gonzalez? It is indeed. He's back there in the 20th position. Has anybody been able to make a challenge yet on Robert Cruz? Let's look up around Matthew Rodriguez and others. There we go. Nope, they're still about 3-4 car lengths off the back bumper of Robert Cruz. Cruz is probably hoping that this is going to continue to be green, because as I mentioned at the top of the program, it's very difficult to pass at New Hampshire. Not a lot of space, and we're seeing just occasional battles for position here as I was trying to go through the field, see where we could find a good battle for position, and right here you see the front 6, 7, 8, possibly even the total top 10 are running in single file. So Matthew Rodriguez, this is exactly what he needs to do in order to possibly get into the chase. Matthew Rodriguez came in only 1 point behind Philip Stiller, and it's very likely now that Philip Stiller is going to fall out of the chase due to the fact that we have only 13 laps to go, and Matthew Rodriguez is running in the second position. Philip Stiller is not even inside of the top 15. Matter of fact, let's confirm that. We'll go and see where the 19 of Philip Stiller is running. He is still running in the 21st position, where he's been running pretty much this whole time. And also, Timmy Pacioli, we have received word that he and Jordan Hester have officially clinched themselves spots into the chase for this season. So congrats to both of them. We know they will join Jake Rogers, Adam Chambers, Robert Band, and Matt Nathan in the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship in Season 2. Drivers still in doubt on whether or not they will be in include John Dillon, Philip Stiller, and then also Matthew Rodriguez, Kenny McCurry, Nick Eggleston. How about Nick Eggleston? We were talking about Kenny McCurry and Nick Eggleston. Let's see where those two are running now. Eggleston is back in the 9th position. Kenny McCurry runs in 8th. And I'm trying to see here, Nick Eggleston would have to, in order to make it in, Eggleston would have to be running either 14 spots ahead of John Dillon or 8 spots ahead of Philip Stiller. Well, he's ahead of Philip Stiller, but I think he has to be ahead 13 spots of John Dillon too, and he is indeed that as well, as John Dillon is running in 28th position. That means that that's a total of 19 positions that Nick Eggleston is ahead of him in. So on very thin ice is where we find John Dillon. Dillon's got to hope and pray here that he can stay in contention. It's going to come really, really close between Eggleston. Oh, caution's out. Caution's out. See who for. And it may have been, no, it wasn't Stiller. Who was it? See if I can find out again as I run through here. Oh, someone spun back there. That's Jesse Kaplan getting turned. But that's not the reason we're under the caution. Someone got turned. But I do not know who it is. Jesse Kaplan, we know, got turned there after the caution to come out, but let's take a look, see if we can find out. Oh, we did indeed find out who it was. It was Lisa Shears, who was running in the 11th position right here. She's going to end up getting a tap from Ziggy Bain in the 3. Right here off of turn 2. Ziggy Bain kind of comes up the racetrack, and I don't know if he knew that he was going to get into Lisa Shears or not, but nonetheless, Lisa Shears does go for a spin, and will lose a few positions due to that spin on the back straightaway. Alright, let's try and go back to green. We got only a handful of laps left in this race before we set the Season 2 Chase Field in the Oreo Truck Series. Alright, so we'll get ready to go back under the green flag. Jesse Kaplan has fallen 1 lap down. As a matter of fact, I believe he has retired from this race. We'll take a look here. Yeah, Jesse Kaplan has retired. Lisa Shears, who spun out, was not hit by anybody, so she has continued on. These are the cars that are left to battle it out. Robert Cruz leads. Matthew Rodriguez 2nd. Timmy Pacioli 3rd. Corey Williams 4th. John Worry 5th. Harold Columbia 6th. Jake Rogers 7th. Kenny McCurry 8th. Jordan Hester 9th. And Nick Eggleston is 10th. 11th is Ziggy Bain. 12th is Jake Berg. Angel D'Souza 13th. 14th is Daniel Schwab. Jake Cole 15th. Connor Breton is 16th. 17th is Devin Wilson. Lisa Shears is 18th. 19th, Brandon Gonzalez. And 20th is Jacob Lawler. 21st is Philip Stiller. Noel Stiller is 22nd. 23rd is Christian James. 24th, Adrian Brace. Ray Wilson. 25th. 26th is Robert Bann. And 27th is John Dillon. I believe I made a mistake earlier on. I said that Robert Bann had retired from the race, and there you see him running back in 26th position, I believe. And so, obviously, he is not out of the race. But, obviously, he's damaged, but doesn't really matter for him because he's already going to be in the chase, along with Jake Rogers, Adam Chambers, Matt Nathan, Timmy Pacioli, and Jordan Hester. Those are the drivers that we know for certain are in the chase. Green flag back out. We got 5 laps to go. Robert Cruz leading the way here. We had a rookie go to victory lane last week. Oh, look at Matthew Rodriguez put a move on him. Cruz tried to put a major block, and he did so. Great textbook pinch down by Robert Cruz to make sure Matthew Rodriguez did not get alongside. A veteran move pulled off by a rookie right there. He made sure Rodriguez was not going to get ahead, and he also made sure that he wasn't going to spin himself or the 31 out. Oh, and the caution's out again. That may end the race. This time the caution is out for, I believe it's Philip Stiller. Adrian Brace is also on pit road. Let's take a look and see what may have ended this race and given the win to Robert Cruz. Now trouble continues for Philip Stiller here, who is running up pretty well in the standings right at the moment in the running order, and may have been able to keep himself in chase contention right there. Noel Stiller gets into him, puts him up into the wall, and then there's nowhere for Adrian Brace to go. He nails into Philip Stiller, and then Robert Bann flips him over. Ray Wilson got a piece of that as well. Look at John Dillon. Oh, Dillon made it through that. That's 4 positions he picked up. That may be critical for whether or not John Dillon will make the chase or not. That could be very critical. Wow. And look at the 12 car of Adrian Brace flipping, barrel rolling down the back straightaway there. Luckily lands on all 4 wheels, but let's go back for the checkered flag. Well, Robert Cruz will not be in the chase for the Oreo Truck Series Championship, but the young rookie is going to pick up his first career win in the NNSCRA as he will take the checkers here at New Hampshire. Congrats to him, and now everybody's eyes are on what the standings look like for who has made the chase and who has not. We're going to step aside for a quick moment, show you the finishing order, and then we'll be back to reveal this year's Season 2 Oreo Truck Series Chase for the Championship Field. Alright then folks, I'm sure you're wondering who's made it into the chase, and we're going to show it to you right now. Here is the way that it looks as we head into race 16. Jake Rogers, the points leader. Timmy Pacioli will move up to second. Robert Band, Jordan Hester, Adam Chambers, they're in the top 5. Matthew Rodriguez has made the chase after getting 6th. Kenny McCurry has also moved into the top 10. He will be in the chase. Nick Eggleston the same. And I'll tell you why John Dillon has made the chase there in 10th, because 3 drivers fell out of the top 10. 3 drivers moved in. Those 3 that fell out, Harvey, Stiller, and Ball. Those 3 that moved in, McCurry, Eggleston, and Rodriguez. That is what kept John Dillon a mere 3 points away from elimination. Harold Columbia almost pulled it off. It would have needed to have 3 more positions than John Dillon in order to make it in. So that is the way it looks as far as the standings go. Now we'll show you what the chase looks like as we head into the next race in race 16. Okay, so here we go. This is how it will look. Timmy Pacioli, he had 2 wins this season, so that puts him up atop the leaderboard now in the chase. Robert Band, Adam Chambers, Matthew Rodriguez, Kenny McCurry, John Dillon, Harold Columbia, and Michael Harvey all had 1 win apiece. And so they are in Jake Rogers, Jordan Hester, Matt Nate, and Nick Eggleston. Now, the drivers that got in via wins are Michael Harvey and Harold Columbia, and that is because they are up highest in the standings with each with 1 win. Harold Columbia was, I believe, 12th in the standings. Michael Harvey was down in like 14th at the final results here, but due to their 1 win, that puts them into championship contention. And look at Jake Rogers. He was the points leader coming into this race. He's going to start this season off this chase off in the 9th position. That's not going to be good for him, but it's only 10 points separating all 12 of these drivers when we head to the next race, and so that's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, here come the rookie standings, and then we will say sayonara here from New Hampshire. The chase is on here in the Oreo Truck Series, and we're about to set the stage as well for the Mobile 1 Cup Series and Snickers Cup Series. Congrats to all those who made this chase, and good luck to them for 5 more races. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, now merged with the NCG. MRS, I'm Seth Cole. See you later.